I was too busy watching whether that stream elements thing was going to work rather than make sure I was on the right screen. Good morning, everybody. Here we are. 5 viewers. Right.
Morning, morning.
So supposedly the bot wasn't working. I had to clear or flush the cache on somehow, but anyway, cache flushing. G'day, Jack. How you doing? Yeah. So that's. Seems like Stream Elements is now sort of running again on the channel, which is not something I'm using, but we'll see after 3 minutes what happens. Okay. Yes, good morning everybody. Todd Austin. Oh, there we go. Todd Austin, he's in there. And Kimbo. Anyway, Got a few. You probably saw that just at the start. They've got a few little articles to work with, but we're going to be able to talk more about the relevance of the whole live streaming thing. It's something that's I've been doing now for what we said it was 175 live streams in the last 3 years. Malcolm K, good morning. How are you? Good morning, Fembot. But yes, so the relevance of the streams every Saturday. The whole idea of the stream was to allow the community to always get together at a set time. But the set time is a problem because of the fact that you've got an audience that comes around all over the globe, and our English followers, they can't join in because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and they've had a skinful from Friday night's drinking sessions. The Americans, they tend to have only just got home from their drinking session or they're still in their drinking sessions. The Aussies, well, it's game time. So it's how do you please everybody? You run 10 different live streams at 10 different times. The whole idea that I've got now I'm playing on my mind is we do something every Saturday anyway. We actually do it pretty much most of the week, but as a set piece, we're pretty much always Saturday morning, playing games. So we stop playing games on a Saturday morning to do the live stream. So why not just continue to play the games? But again, there's the other side of it. People don't like, people who come to this channel for the Thailand stuff. They don't come to the channel for watching us play, silly games. I think Todd's probably playing a game right now, is he? I'm not looking at the numbers. You've got to concentrate, okay. Paul in Sydney, hey, from sunny Jontium. Well, you're not Paul in Sydney, you're Paul in Jontium. Come on, fix your name up. Enjoying morning coffee on the condo balcony, looking at the beautiful oceans and Kolan. Go Parramatta. I guess Parramatta is the team that's playing today, is it?
I think it's Parramatta and South. So I'm happy to be corrected if I'm wrong. So.
Yeah. Like I've got somebody on the crew that remembers what the football's all about. I gave up on football.
I missed the AFL Grand Final last week, and I had to log into my my streaming subscription to actually watch the full game. But I asked everyone not to send me spoilers, and then a friend I hadn't spoken to in about 3 or 4 months. You must be happy that Geelong won. And I'm going,
oh, there you go. Spoiler time. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Spoiler alert. We don't like it on TV. Sitcoms and TV series and movies. We don't like them on football either. It's the way it goes.
Final of all games too.
Grand final, yeah. Anyway, so Paul and Jontium, good to have you along. Parramatta versus Penrith tomorrow, grand final. Okay.
Sorry, Paul.
There you go.
So South can make it through.
Interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so it comes down to what would we do? Like, this is not going to be instant. We're still going to put it through the thinking process, maybe over the next month, so get a bit of feedback and get a feeling from people. What might be the way forward. Now we've been going for 5 minutes and I haven't seen the message come. So one part of it worked, the other part didn't. That'll be right. Watching this damn stupid thing. Okay. should be, yeah. Anyway, let me just go and do that now. Maybe what I got to do it, I'll do it what they said. So we're just doing what fiddling around. I've got to go to my cloud bot. I've got to turn the cloud bot off, right? I've then got to go into here. I've got to go into the alert box, go to properties. Sorry to bother everybody with this bullshit, but you know.
I'll keep chatting with everyone on the chat.
That's right. Browser settings, refresh cache on current page, close that, then we can go back to that.
The reason Wazza's doing it now, there's only so much testing you can do without doing it during a live situation.
You've got to do it live, unfortunately, and you know, unfortunately, doing it, you know, that means doing tests, you know, throughout the week with just random things, and it just, yeah. So. Yeah, and of course you can't test it if the video's unlisted. Anyway, so so I got to now wait for 15 minutes. So that's 7 minutes to 7 for 21. Okay, you said wait for 15 minutes. Okay, so yeah. Well, the browser, my Brave, I completely dumped all cookies and cache yesterday on my Brave browser, which I do every 6 months anyway. But you know, it's always that process of going and log back into the two-factor authentication, the whole bullshit and everything else. Yeah. Anyway, 12 days until your Thai time. Hope it stops raining, flooding by then. Well, with this tropical storm that we had come through, didn't really dump much rain out here, did it?
No, but it was raining when I went into Bangkok yesterday to go to school. So it was sunny. I left my place, Saiha, and by the time I got out of the MRT, it was pissing down.
Yeah, but it wasn't pissing down here. Like we've had very little water coming through. There's a bit of a flood up in Don Wai near the market there. They got one of those drains is not working, and one of their clongs looks like it's backed up or something going. It was bubbling over somewhere. Not our clong seems to clear, but I think it's the next clong on 36 seems to be sort of having a problem.
There's always that U-turn under Burabon past Home Crow that seemed to get the level up as well. I've driven past it a few times, haven't been past it recently.
Yeah, I think if the last video of coming home from the, what do you call it, Susie's last Friday, if you check the end of that video there, we're coming into Saiha there, and we've got put 6 to 8 inches of water on there, it's covering the gutters. But that's always floods too, that little place. That's a central collection point. It's probably the lowest point in the area, and they've got big grates and pumps there that they're always lifting up and clearing out and shit like that, because that's where all the lumps of lard collect, I'm sure.
Not that anyone cares. They've finally cleaned out the drains in front of my moo barn because of the clearing of those 2 blocks. All the sand they moved blocked all the drains. So
did it?
Even with the little rain, I've got some photos I could probably log in, but it's like, nah.
Yeah, it happens. Was it? Yes, it rains most days during the rainy season, mate. I was in Bangkok yesterday and I only had a few light showers. Yeah, again, I think people misconstrue the rainy season. All they think of is just torrential rain 24/7 in the rainy season. No, but it's very much an hour, 2 hours here. You might get a couple of weeks where you get 2 or 3 days of rain, but that's about all you get. The only thing is you can't predict when it's going to rain. As I said, it's raining in Bangkok, 30 kilometres to the east, but we've got blue sky here. This is something you don't get. It happens all the time. Any chicks in Vietnam, Dave? We're in Thailand. I'm sure there's
Something got back from his Vietnam trip.
I'm sure there's poultry in Vietnam. There's poultry everywhere. Dogs and cats and you might even get to eat some in Vietnam. You go to the right markets. Dave, my wife. Are you back yet, Andy, or what? Or you're just finishing up your rounds there? Um, piss off the sorry Dave, can't do that. But anyway, yeah. So getting back to this whole idea of what do we do? What's on my mind now is let's do the gaming and the chat like we do here. The Discord's always running. We'll start streaming when we get going in the morning, when we're gaming, whatever we're gaming, and it's just a chat session like we're doing here. But it'll be unlisted on YouTube so as not to piss people off. And maybe I'll post it on my Facebook feed so that if you're following on Facebook, then you'll get the link to the unlisted YouTube, or alternatively you can just follow us on Twitch. Twitch is not a scary place. It's just set up an account and you can follow your favourite gamers, or larrikins or idiots, or maybe even me. You can even follow Jen when Jen Desperado. We're all part of the gang. But I've been watching Jen for months now, and could I get to that point in my life where I sort of said, what is he? He's Wednesday from our time, 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night. Then he does Fridays from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night, and he does Saturdays from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 8 till 10 or something on a Saturday. And he sometimes does. I think he does 4 days a week on a schedule. Honestly, where does your life go? It's okay if you've got a work criteria to deal with, your working life just evolves into I get home, eat food, then I'll run a stream, which is basically, I'm guessing that's what's happening. I just couldn't get that routine with my life, I'm sort of unemployable. But at least we do know Saturday mornings we've got a set time in Saturday mornings, if you know what I mean. So yeah, getting back to that. Anyway, that's just on the top of my head, move this chat session into the Twitch genre, because I think there's also bugs with the way we stream like this. I said this bot thing not working and stuff like that. Did work, then it didn't work, and they're still trying to solve it. I've got support from them trying to tell us what's going on, but what can you do? Anyway, Warren, it's all about money over there. It's all about money everywhere, if you didn't realise. It's just not Thailand. Thailand is a place where it's a little bit more in your face because of the culture here. But quite frankly, I think I'm sort of so after 6 years of the tyre kickers coming in and just saying, all your money you're spending on your tyre. Well, sorry, all my money was spent on my bloody wife in Australia as well when I was there. If you're not spending money in the family unit, then I don't think you have a family unit. That's just the way life is. It's what they call the trickle-down economy. Give all the money to the rich people, and then eventually you'll get crumbs on the floor for the poor people. We need a trickle-up economy, don't we? That's what we need next. Trickle-up economies. Anyway, Pat Thai's in the house. G'day, Pat. Anyway, I got a few articles, so let's move right into the article situation. But what's that? I didn't want that on there. Get rid of that. What's that? There we go. Now she's going to do something in Thai, which I can't read unless, of course.
No,
I know.
I can read that. We're all good, thanks, Pat Thai. We're doing fine.
All right, so I've got to go onto that tab over here so I can get, because the translator doesn't, and it's not even going to work there either. Google Translate.
I got it covered. I'm getting there, mate. My Thai's getting better.
Detect language. Oh God, why is it taking so long today? Yeah, okay. How are you there? Sabaidi kun Todd. Sabaidi kun.
Sabaidi up.
สบายดีคุณทอด
Yeah. Didn't in the translation didn't even add your name. It just says how are you, right? Anyway, enough of our Thai lessons for today. We can do Thai lessons if we're another day. But we got some articles. Okay, the first article off the rank, of course, is the fact that Thailand is fully reopens today. Yep. Today, it's the day, D-Day. Vaccination proof ATK test results no longer needed. While period of stay in the kingdom is extended to 45 days for tourists entitled to visa exemption. Right, so that's the visa exemption. That's the one where you go into the gate, you don't need to get a visa, they stamp your book for 30 days. That is now being stamped for 45 days. That's what they call visa exempt entry. Not every country in the world has that. It's pretty much the Western economy type people, the ones that have the more money to spend more money. Like they don't give it to the Nigerians, for instance. Nigerians have to apply for a visa before they can come here because they're scam artists. So they don't let Nigerians just walk in the door. They have to go and do the whole jiggery pokery with the visa thing. But anyway, they would normally only get a visa for 15 days, which now been extended to 30 days if they do it on arrival. Right, but most of the time people would, from those sort of countries would be doing it from their home country, so they can get probably a maximum 45 or 60 days. But the visa on arrival, which is there are little huts before you go through the gates for the the immigration. There's little huts inside. You can actually apply for visa before you actually go through the gate. So that's what they mean, visa on arrival. As opposed to visa exempt. Most people don't know that. It's a bit weird. Anyway, what else is there? Bangkok for Tourism Authority, pleased to advise today international travellers of Thailand will no longer be required to show proof vaccination of ATK. No longer length of stay will be offered. A longer length of stay. Secondly, the completion of kingdoms fully reopening to international tourism. Effective for day and throughout.
Also the day that they finished the labelling of the pandemic to endemic, or
I was looking for that particular article, and it just the mystery why they don't come through all the time. I'm sure somebody's got it. If one of the spanners has got a link to that, we'll put it up as well. But yes, that's just all the blurb. We'll have to go through that. But yeah, the main thing is the fact that it's fully open. Andy Stubbs, I might head back to Bangkok for a few days on the way home from Cambodia. Well, we got next Friday is our meet-up. If you're coming back through there, then try and aim for that if you can. Excuse me. Anyway, what have we got? This one here caught my eye because there's people always looking about the healthcare system over here. And I thought this was an interesting article. I didn't know that this sort of thing was a problem, but only 3 likes. Please smash that like button. Yeah, my bot should be doing that if it hasn't been 15 minutes yet. Gets its first hospital offering specialised treatment at affordable prices. So I don't know. Sukhumvit 62. Ruam Jairak. Ruam Jai, that's a heart love. Ruam, what's Ruam?
I help us out, mate. I don't know that one.
Okay. Ruam Jairak, it could be just a name, but obviously Ruam, obviously I've heard that term before. But Jairak is heart love. Right? Yeah. Anyway, I guess enough of me and my Thai lessons. Bangkok's first hospital offering premium medical treatment at reasonable prices. Well, I always thought, I know that there was a doubling of, foreigners charged at hospitals, last year or something. They mandated they could do double pricing or, 2-tier pricing in hospitals. But yeah, what is even 2-tier pricing in the hospital system here is still better than pricing you get in America or maybe Australia for private hospital care. But I believe this is a public hospital, from the best as I could determine. Anyway, premium medical treatment at reasonable prices officially opens its doors on Sunday. 12-story facility at Kanong district. It's just on the eastern side of the city there. Common 144 patients, has parking for 200 cars. He added that the main feature of the 3 billion baht hospital is personalised treatment for specialists. From specialists. For instance, if a patient has a problem with their wrist bone, they will get to see a doctor who specialises in wrist bones. Also, he said that physicians will treat their patients in cooperation with other experts to ensure there is no reason for unnecessary medical examinations, which will cut down unnecessary costs. He added that modern and standardised medical equipment is available at the hospital, which also relies on artificial intelligence to help doctors treat their patients effectively. All patient data will be stored digitally. That's an interesting one, which is to say most of the time it's stored on paper. Reduce the use of paper and prevent the human errors. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's all I had to say about it. I was just thinking about it. I said, well, shouldn't every hospital operate this way?
Yeah. Well, the
this
one
is
I went to, I had a couple of little things I needed to have a check up on. They were absolutely awesome and received that treatment from an established hospital. So, I don't know, is it...
Warren Kelly. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, is it blowing the trumpet as something that's brand new and supported by other people, so that needs a flagging? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so Pat was there, sort of Ruam is gathering, so gathering,
Herring.
heart love, gathering heart love. Probably means something else. What's the actual whole name mean? But anyway, Warren, can I take oxycodone into Thailand? Pretty much I would say that's a definite no. Even with a medical certificate, it could be admitted, I could be prescribed here through a hospital system. I'm sure it's probably hospital treatment only, it's where a doctor is administering it. But I really can't be sure. Look, they won't even let codeine in here, let alone oxycodone. Codeine at the gate. If they find codeine in your suitcase coming in, I think it's a instant fine, or even sort of they'll whisk you away through immigration and lock you up or something.
Wait, because it's a tier 1 case.
Yeah, Prime Minister reinstated. Yeah, the Constitutional Court ruled that he hasn't broken the rules because it's from his election date, not his, usurping date. Yeah, we won't say any more on that. So we'll have to see how that pans out over the next week. Why don't nurses in Australia look as cute as the Thai ones? Good question, Malcolm. Mind you, I'm pretty sure they picked the best looking ones there. The ones at the local hospital here in King. Some of them were cute, but most of them, not so much. Joe Elliott, yep, good morning. How you doing? Anyway, so there's one hospital offering specialised treatment for, reasonable prices. That's not to sort of say, like we've got Makachai Song down the end of the Petkis Sai Ha here. I thought those prices were reasonable. One thing you don't get with this hospital system here, there are little clinics around the place, but they're few and far between. And we don't have what we call, well, not that I've seen, maybe there is at some level through Thai, subculture, but there's no obvious medical, surgery, like GP. Like where I lived, I had a GP in the round in Yololo Avenue. I could have gone to him. I could have gone to Somerville Road. There's a GP, it was 200 yards up from the corner of Somerville Road. There was a GP along a bit further at Ethel Street. These are just GPs. There was one at the Crescent Centre. They're all GPs. These are where you would go to as a first opinion, where they would then, sort of say, well, take 2 pills and see, call me in the morning, or take 2 pills and eat them with food, and go to the chemist and here's just prescription that they will give you the drugs. Here in Thailand at work, there is no real GP system here. It's all done through hospitals and through the pharmacies. So the pharmacies can administer, or just on consultation you tell them what's going on. The example I use here is the estromon or estrogen supplements that the transgenders use. You could be sort of 12, 13 years old, even without, I think 12 has to, I think less than 12 has to have parental consent, but if they're 13 or older, I think they can just walk into the chemist. They can just tell the chemist that they want to grow breasts and give them some estrogen. He or she will ask a few questions and then pay your money, and here's the estrogen. You can start taking one a day for the rest of your life. That's what happens. Whereas in Australia, you've got to go through a psych evaluation if you're male to female transition. That takes months. Right, and usually sort of half of the people going through transition give up with the third degree of why they feel that way, because that's the way the Australian system works. And then of course you've got to go to a doctor to get prescribed estrogen. That's not necessary here. I'll talk about that, and I'm going to do a video on that particular situation or topic at some stage when I get more data on it. But yeah, it's the way it goes over here. You go to the chemist. I got a headache, here's some paracetamol. I got more than a headache, it's a bit of a migraine, okay, here's something with a little bit more kick. But outside that, they'll say go to the hospital. And then you go to the hospital, which is, again, the GPs are sort of usually housed in the hospital. And you would talk to them and you give them, like when I had the eye problem, I had conjunctivitis a few weeks ago, went to the local hospital, stand on the queue and go and see an eye specialist in the public hospital. Supposedly the Rai King Hospital is really, really good for eye specialisation, supposedly, and all different hospitals have different specialisations. The point being, this one here is supposed to be bringing them all together in one place, rather than what we would have to go to in normal Thai culture. I hope that makes some sort of sense. I'm probably overthinking the whole process. But it doesn't work the same way as it does in Australia, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't work the same way in America and England as well. Just be used to that. Anyway, don't want to subscribe to your thing because I've got your Twitter. Okay. This one here I thought caught my eye as well, because people don't realise the severity of your canine friends. Reason being, we've had a Siberian Husky running around our street. He's got a collar on but no identification, and he seems to hang out in our street just down here. And what I've just realised, we've got a couple of little toy something, or Pomeranians or something like that. I don't know breeds that well. One of them's on heat, and so this Husky just decided to camp at the front of the house there and annoys everybody. Hopefully they'll get rid of the dog soon enough. But yeah, this is what you get with street dogs. The point being, Nong Sam Hospital in Pattaya area reveals at least 1 million people a year get bitten by dogs in Thailand. I didn't realise it was that high. But when you start to look at all the street, the street dogs, yes, and just in your street, just coming out of your street, less than a dozen.
I've got a pack of 6 or 7, and 2 of them are rather, I suppose, arrogant. They won't move. Like,
yeah, that's right.
I ride the motorbike, they won't move. I get in the taxi, they won't move. The other 5 spread out, surround the car, and bark. I don't mind it. It's like security. No one can walk down my soy without sort of people knowing about it.
Yeah. Most of the dogs around our area are all behind their gates. But yeah, this one here we have got some soy dogs up on a kilometre away on our side street, and they seem to congregate there, which is like a little S-bend. Worst place for them to congregate if you try to navigate that. You've got the pole to navigate, and the road's barely 2 lanes wide, and then you've got dogs on a pole, and then you've got lucky I don't have to go out there.
You can't move right or left depending on which direction you go.
If you go right, you fall onto the rice fields. If you go left, you fall onto the clong. Yeah, so you're sort of stuck. But anyway, it's all good. But yes, I didn't realise that dogs. Yeah, the problem, of course, with the dogs here is we do have rabies, and it can be a bit annoying. I think if you get bitten, and they might, irrespective of whether you're bitten and they know that the dog has rabies or not, what they'll do, they will instantly give you a rabies shot. You have to come back in 4 weeks and have a second shot, and then again 3 months or something, third shot. And then you basically got to have shots every year or something, haven't you? How long do they have to keep on treating
rabies, mate. Not something that's come across my radar.
Yeah.
But I know there is a regime you've got to take.
It's quite a complicated regime. Ideally, you don't want to be bitten by a dog, and if you're going to ride bikes, make sure you've got nice thick boots on, so that, that's where they bite, of course. But yeah, I didn't realise it was so bad. Physicians at the hospital, therefore, where did it go to? Physicians at the hospital, therefore, trained health volunteers to detect rabies symptoms in animals and treat animal bites properly. Physicians stated that at a meeting, we have to quickly clean the bite wound with water and soap. Remember the types of animals that bite us, so that we can ask the owner if about rabies vaccination, consult a doctor. So like our cat has rabies injections every 6 months, as well as a couple of other things as well. I think there's a cat feline something that they've got to be treated for as well. But yeah, the pet owners and physicians have your pets vaccinated every year and get at least 2 shots for the first year. Leash your pets every time you take them out for a walk. Sterilise your pets and never abandon them. Health volunteers will help spread the knowledge to locals. So rabies is an issue here. It's just an inconvenience. It's not life-threatening per se, but yeah, untreated it is life-threatening. You could turn into one of those, was it DayZ zombies, couldn't you? You never know. With any luck. Moving right along. I thought this one was interesting. Who'd know? Putting objects in the road to stop people parking is illegal. Government warns. This is out of Hua Hin today. Not making a big fuss about it in Bangkok, but I think the people in Hua Hin are making a big fuss about it. They've got less street parking, I guess. Ever get frustrated never being able to find a parking space when you're out of town? Yeah. The frustration I get is when I'm with Chanya and we want to stop at that shop there to eat some food. And there's this unwritten rule that I've yet to understand, right, how this works. Right, that shop, that person either rented or bought that shop there on a main road. Right, he owns that gutter from left hand to the right hand wall. That's his gutter, and you can't park there unless, of course, you're shopping in his shop. This is an unwritten rule, right? And this is where this stems from, because the fact that after a while the shop owners say it's for my customers, not for your customers. Ultimately, it's illegal. Right, and unfortunately, this is the thing that frustrates me. How do you know? But yes, it really can be a problem during the weekend where the extra traffic or worse, finding what looks to be a suitable parking space, then to discover that someone has placed some kind of obstacle in order to prevent you and others parking. You will likely have seen it before. In fact, it can be all too common sight in towns and cities across Thailand, people putting objects on the road to save a parking space outside their property. They normally put plastic chairs, tyres and old paint pots, but really nothing is off limits. But now the Department of Public Relations has warned that the practice of blocking parking spaces is against the law, and it could result in a fine of 10,000 baht. Further, the Departments of Public Relations urge members of the public to report rule breakers to the police and their local municipality. According to the post of the Department of Relations, official Facebook informants who are able to provide evidence, such as a photo or video evidence, I'm guessing, videos, photos eligible, could receive half of that fine. So now they're engaging the public to take photos to tell you can't park there and hopefully get 5,000 baht.
Could have a passive income stream occurring shortly.
Passive income, yes, yeah. There you go. Charles Scott, good day from Odessa. How's your wife, Charles? Is she getting any better, or is she coping all right? I know I saw some posts recently. There was some issues there. I hope that's over and done with. Well, better, not over and done with. That's the wrong sort of choice of words. Mask rule. Okay, we got this one here.
I can rave about this one. You
Okay.
bring it up and I'll go. Yeah, you bring it up and I'll
You'll read it.
jump in.
Right.
Wearing face masks on public transport and in cinemas is still mandatory in Thailand. Read my lips, mandatory. Okay, that's from the Department of Health. COVID-19 will be eased as a dangerous communicable disease to a communicable disease under surveillance on Saturday. So it is today. That story confirms it is today.
Yep.
Topics addressed include concerns about high-risk businesses, whether the Thai Stop COVID-19 2+ platform will remain in place. Is that the emergency decree? Is that a different way of saying emergency decree?
Thai Stop. I don't know. That I've never heard that term before.
No.
Maybe somebody can clarify that.
Yep. One of the doctors said cleaning of common contact points and workplace screenings will still be required to ensure public safety despite the easing of most measurements. That being said, the department will moderate the measures applied to some high-risk businesses while the aforementioned platform will be retained, as those firms are required to follow Public Health Act and Communicable Disease Act. The department still mandates that people wear face masks and respect social distancing rules as much as possible when using public transport or visiting the cinema. That is due to the density of people packed close together, which is common sense. He answered a question on how people's lives will be changed by saying they will improve, referring to their better health awareness compared to earlier in the pandemic. A survey carried out by the Department of Health on just over 270,000 people showed that most respondents agreed on the need to retain the health measures, while some expressed concern about the hygiene of certain public places. I can say I've travelled a lot in the last week on the MRT and the BTS, and I don't know how far to go off on the ledge on this, but when you're in a foreign country, as a foreigner, as a tourist, as a guest, respect what's happening in the country. Don't act like a dick, a self-entitled and flaunt the fact that I don't want to wear a mask. I'll push my way through a crowded area, not wearing a mask, get the gazes of everyone that's around you going, you look like an absolute boss. Respect what's happening in the local areas. It doesn't matter whether it's Thailand, Australia, America, UK. What is occurring as a visitor, respect what's happening. Yes, I'm a Farang. I live in Thailand. I feel ashamed to be a Farang with some of the behaviour I've seen in the last week using public transport. Really am. Really am.
Yeah, and of course we were down in Pattaya, and the lack of mask wearing people in Pattaya was quite obvious compared to Bangkok, and 3 of our crew of 9 came back in ill health. One supporting COVID, so he caught COVID down there, which he does exactly the same thing he does in Bangkok, but we wear masks in Bangkok. Right, he's been just equally involved in hanging out with crowds in Bangkok versus Pattaya. He's 3 days in Pattaya and comes back with COVID. Jerry came back with something else. He'd been sick for the last 10 days. It wasn't COVID, it was actually sort of something worse, some sort of virulent disease. And I think, who else was it? Jack said he was feeling under the weather. I came back with, sunstroke.
James and Chris didn't feel on top of the world.
So do masks work just in our own little private group? Mask policy, you're being sensible about it. When should you wear a mask? Well, when in crowded spaces amongst people you don't know. I don't know. It's all right. Yeah, get the whole idea. Yeah, but I loved the conspiracy theorists, the bullshit going on out there. The flat earthers telling you how the fact that it's going to ruin your health. There's no scientific evidence at all that supports that, apart from a few, what they call it, medicine doctors out there who think they're doctors or who have been disbarred and sort of trying to make a living off YouTube. Get the whole idea. There is scientific evidence that supports it reduces the spread of airborne diseases if you wear a mask, makes sense to me.
The other secondary effect is yes, Bangkok does have a pollution issue at times. Whether that's agricultural or industrially based. And wearing the mask, it does reduce the effects it has on your breathing.
It's working!
Yeah,
It's working.
it's working.
Still glad
okay.
it did
All right.
actually work.
The fembot is back. Good.
The fembot.
But yeah, when we're walking somewhere where it's not a huge public area, yeah, I take my mask off. Um, but when we're eating, we're drinking, you're allowed to take your mask off because normally you're in a group where you know who you're eating and drinking with. Public transport, I'm using the P word, is public. For two reasons: there are other people, and other people can see you. So if you want to act like a dick, you'll be treated like a dick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, let's just recap. Charles, IRS says someone is trying to use her identification for employment. Had to check a bunch of stuff and make. Oh, it's really. Oh my God. She's bedridden in hospital, and somebody's trying to fake her identity. And I'm sure it happens everywhere in the world, but it caught my eye. Yeah. She seemed better to me, at least, trying to do more for. That's great, Charles. I think I am the only person in Texas still wearing a mask, except when visiting our doctor's office. Anyway, Pad Thai, did you take up the elderly seat on the MRT? No, I do not take up the elderly seat. I always leave that one free for the young whippersnappers that get on there, because, if I got a seat, I don't want to get up. It's amazing how many young kids don't get up for them,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you meant to do it for, what is it, elderly, pregnant ladies, ladies with children,
and monks. Yeah.
I was on a trip on the MRT, and it was pretty full. A monk came on. I looked around and going, okay, I'm culturally sensitive. I know that you're meant to be respectful. No one got up. So, me being the frang, I got up, let the monk sit down. He refused until I sort of said, no, yours. Look at the picture. Please sit down. And I think everyone in that little cabin just bowed their heads. Because it was a face-losing situation. How dare a Farang get ahead of us?
Yes, I know.
It's just respect. It's just respect.
It is.
Got to be respectful. Hiding that. What are you talking? Why are you talking Thai? Let me look.
What's going to go and translate it? It's just, it really is. Like, that's it.
No, my long.
That's right. I went to translate it. I just went and I googled it. I didn't want to Google it. I wanted to translate it. Translate.
I just said, Yeah. Yeah. My long, Pat. My long.
That's the same thing. How are you? Yeah, she said the same thing again, isn't it? Oh, no, they did do it.
No, yeah, you didn't copy and paste the other one.
For some reason, it doesn't sit. The stream top chat's not updating there on the typical YouTube. There it is.
And I'm not over 60 yet, so I can't get the seniors card anyway.
Yeah, the point is, I think that was the thing. Have I got the card? Like, I keep on talking about it and threatening it. It's just that I never have my passport on me to go and make the change. So, handsome figure, Mr. Okay, fair enough. Now I got what that said. She's trying to make our life hard for us. Okay. Don't forget to hit the... that's right. Simlars are doing. They don't need Pat to tell you. Okay, so we've solved that problem. That was finally after 6 weeks. Moving right along. As for masks, look, I'm quite happy to wear a mask. It's around my neck. It's got a little lanyard, keeps it handy, for the on and off process. Is it still flooding? It doesn't flood in Bangkok. Let's make sure we understand that. It's what they call water waiting to drain. There's no flooding. Just don't use that flooding word. It's water waiting to drain. Just get it right, and then everybody will be happy, especially the people who lose face over the water waiting to drain not draining.
Yeah. And it's the length of time that it takes to drain that's the issue.
Yeah, the length of time.
That it's
But in other words, the waterway to the drain is causing some problems in particular areas. I think Pat's got a really good video out now. He's talking about the flooding situation. Let me see if I can find it, because I was watching it the other day. And then if I can link that one there, just to history. Where's my history? Come on. You know, all the crap I watch, you don't want to see that shit. How to tame dinosaurs. There we go.
If you go through my history, it's all about how to tame dinosaurs at the moment.
Here we go. This is the actual article. I'll just hit the pause and then I'll hit the watch. Right. Now he goes on to talk in this video. Of course, let me just link it back in here so I can put it in the stream chat. Oh really? Where's my? I've lost the stream now. Go to my. What is taking so long? I'm not streaming anything. Your channel. Yes, from my channel. Excuse me. I just can't type into the Streamlabs deck because it doesn't work that way. And I can go there. Then I can get the stream and chat back up again.
Fembots, Miss Baby.
No, the Fembot's running all right.
Blame the Fembot. Always blame the Fembot.
Right. So that video there is from Bangkok Pat. He talks about the flooding situation. He talks about the work that's being done on all the underground tunnels and the drainage system, how it's not complete yet, but there is a definite timeline. It was actually, I found that interesting, a really interesting expose on the whole situation of water here in Thailand. He's done a really good job. I love his editing skills, but which is what I'm going to talk about next, is channel pivoting. We've got 10 minutes left. We'll talk about that next. But anyway, if you get time, have a look at that video from Pat. I'm pretty sure you've already seen it anyway, but of course I can't show it to you for copyright reasons, unless of course I get his approval to show it on the stream. But you know how it works. I know a lot of people don't go through that process, but Fembot is jealous over the vloggers. She only gets to size for yeah. I'm thinking now that I got the Streamlabs bot working, I think I might rename it the Fembot, That's the next thing. See if I can get that working. Don B, g'day. Anyway, yeah, definitely have a look at that. So moving right along, the Patreon, there we go. This is now coming. We're now into year 7 of my public YouTube channel, and 7's like being a lucky number. It's time to freaking kick this freaking shit forward a bit. I've been doing a lot of research over the last few days. One of the things, of course, I got rid of my TubeBuddy, which is my helper program, and I've now upgraded to vidIQ, which gives me a lot more insight into channel metrics and a few other things like that, which you probably can't read because of the way it's over typing on the chatbot. But we'll get past that little bit, and I can turn that off, I suppose. Where a live chat. So if I turn that off so we can see the words behind it. Yeah, so one of the things we're talking about, how do you really get a YouTube channel working, right? To make a few extra bucks with the advertising revenue and everything else. The reason I'm saying that is, I've had a spate over the last 2 to 3 weeks, which is just driving me to distraction. Which is you put a video up, and the videos I put, they're all family friendly, clean. Even that patio stuff was family friendly, clean, no swearing, no bullshit. Just about every video in the last 3 weeks, I've had to contest their AI and their what they call advertiser friendly guidelines, because their AIs, they've just completely lost the plot. The example I'd use, if you put from what it seems to be, if I even put the word patio anywhere in the video description, video title, or in the tags or anything else like that, as soon as it's been analysed, it's instantly no longer advertiser friendly, and you've got to go through the process of contesting it, which can take 20 to 40, they say it can take 7 days. Traditionally, well, what I've noticed, it takes 24 to 48 hours before human eyes can actually see it and then enable it. And even to the point that the fifth video in that Patia series, not the person reading that seemed to have an issue with sexual references. I don't know where, but what can you do? It's just the way that their system works. So it's becoming a more and more of a problem. What I'm getting at is here we can see keyword searches, right? And what I've done there, what am I searching? I'm searching for, search volume. Okay, Thailand vlog, that's in my tags. Patia, I can't use that because it'll demonetize the video. No, of course, it's not about Patia. Patia Thailand, that demonetizes, they're no longer advertiser friendly. Patia, Bangkok Thailand, this is in my tags. Everything Patia, and I can't use that, moving to Thailand, well, I'm not doing videos about moving to Thailand, so I really can't talk about moving to Thailand. Life in Thailand, which is our channel. You get the idea, sort of, out of all the search volumes, over half of them I can't use, or I'm going to have to contest as soon as I make a video about it. It's just, it's getting harder and harder, and that's just, really. I was using some, I gave an example. If I look at Bangkok Nightlife, and that's Bangkok Nightlife, and hit the carriage return, right? Let's sort of see how to, so you can see the search criteria there. It's a fairly high volume on Bangkok Nightlife. Street food. Well, maybe I should be doing more street food, but I'm not doing street food. I'm doing restaurant food at little places I go to. So, again, getting back to the whole thing, a lot of people out there in the YouTube land are doing all this click faking. I can't use street. That's what I'm not going to call it. Click baiting, because it's the wrong word. Click faking. Right? If you're going to do a video on street food, you have to do a video on street food. Eating in a cafe is not street food. Travel. Well, I'm not doing travel. I'm not Mark Weems. Travel vlog. I use that. Massage. I'm not getting massage, and I don't know how you would actually sort of do videos on massage. I'm pretty sure that one's going to flag. Thailand. Some Patia and on Bangkok Nightlife, and we're going to Patia is in the rankings. How does even that make a ranking? Also interesting, a lot of the Patia stuff is very low competition. Probably a lot of people aren't using them anymore. Get the idea, a lot of stuff you can't use anymore. Thailand's been ostracised for any sort of thing to really sort of draw new traffic, which is becoming a problem, of course. What I'm getting at is it's time to pivot the channel. That's where we're going next. So we're going to try things differently. We've got a whole bunch of ideas we've been sort of building up. We've sort of been spruiking it for the last 3 months. So hopefully we can sort of kick this into gear again, because the viewership is growing, but people, I don't know where they're coming from, whether they're just clicking to subscribe or what. Most of it's churn. People sort of stop watching a channel because YouTube starts throwing other suggested videos in there, and that then sort of once more suggested as more relevant, and sort of everybody's filter is going to be different depending on what they work, because the AI doesn't look at what I do these days. I've got to feed enough information to hopefully trigger enough matches of your viewing habits. And again, what do? We do, an on-the-street look at Bangkok, our Bangkok Insider. We do our Wednesday lunches with Chanya, sort of our life in Thailand together. I want to do the transgender stuff, but it's becoming a problem. It's not so much a problem, it's more the fact that the girls are very shy to talk about their challenges here in Thailand. But I want to move into that sort of work, because people keep on asking about it. And if I do look at my channel, if I pull my channel back down here and go up here, open in a new tab, we can see directly, if it's going to decide to wow, can't believe it's lagging so much. Yeah, so if I go down to here, I can look at my popular uploads. I have to come to the realization that people come to this channel and find this channel through, topics around the transgender issues. This is my most ranked videos. So I'm going to have to reframe my whole channel into that sort of framework. Did I say the right words? I don't want to make it overly in your face, but I really need to make sure that we capture the challenges and the going forward processes of building a channel based on a subject. But of course, if I use the word, like each one of these videos that had to be contested for advertiser friendly as well, because it's got the word ladyboy, because ladyboy has sexual connotation, right, through the porn industry. This is Thailand. It's got nothing to do with the porn industry. It's got to do with Thailand. It's ubiquitous within our culture. Like something like 1% of Thais are going through transition, either male to female or female to male. And we've talked about it before, the 18 different gender stereotypes that we see here in Thailand. I'm going to have to do something about it. If I really want to grow this channel into some sort of framework, I'm going to have to make videos about what people really want to watch. I know it's a bit of a challenge, but what do you do? The numbers. Yeah, life is a challenge. Yeah, that's I think the video coming out next anyway. Well, this one here, there's one here that still gets views. Why? Because the thumbnail had two women grabbing Chanya's breasts. Interesting, that one didn't get flagged, by the way. That one just, people wanted to see why women are grabbing Chanya's breasts. The YouTube world is screwed. It really is. Soft porn, and 96% of your audience is male. I don't know what they're looking for, but such is life. Stephen Monash, you're late to the party again, as usual. So yeah, it's going to take a month of sorting things out, but we are going to have to pivot into some new areas and be in your face about it. Bear with me. Well, it's going to take some fine tuning over the month or two, but hopefully we'll get something worked out. And again, we've got a month of working out what to do with the live stream thing here on a Saturday. Hopefully we can get something working out there, and sort of have it so that people can still join us. It's not hard to click on Twitch, and Twitch is a lot better at actually informing you when you go live. If you hit that follow button, Twitch will tell you on your phone the fact that somebody's gone live. So just listen to your phone, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, you'll see it on there, or in your email. But I don't think the email's really is switched on reliable, depending on how you, unless of course you've got one of those little smart watches like Todd's got on his wrist, because he gets all these emails, don't you? Anyway, so yeah, we're going to make to the 2022-2023 the year that we seriously take YouTube seriously and get on and make some videos, maybe a bit better on the production side. I don't know if I'm going to go to Bangkok Pat's extent of being that, like taking a week to do an edit on a video. Oh my God. Like he's got access to what they call that's SoundCloud or something for the music pieces. I've looked at music to put in the background, and every time I look at music in the background of a video, I'm going, which one do I choose? They all sound good. Maybe I should get Todd to think about what tunes. He's the music expert.
Yeah. If you use copyrighted material, it's going to get flagged anyway. So
yeah, so we're going to have to go to
open source and everything.
Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound seems to be the thing. But again, Epidemic Sound, that's a subscription model as well. I think minimum entry fee there is like $12 a month or something like that. Or it could be more than that. So if you're going to use music, you're going to have to pay for it. I've always tried to look at YouTube funding itself and the money I put into it. My money we get out always gets back into buying the equipment, buying a new camera. Like I bought the GoPro. I still don't like the GoPro 10. But that was bought simply for the bike riding thing. It's a useless vlogging camera. I don't know people why use it. I still think my Sony camera is so much simpler to use and switched on. Would have liked a black version, but black versions get hotter as well. So. And that's another thing. The GoPro, you leave it out in the sun too long, it switches itself off. I don't know why people think the GoPro's so, unless of course you've got air cooling in the front of your helmet, it can be a problem. Anyway, we've just gone past the 1 minute mark, or 1 minute mark, 1 hour mark, 1 minute mark. Yeah, sorry, I'm only going to stream for 1 minute now. That's it. But yeah, so that's something we've got working planned. We're going to be moving it. It'll still be streaming into YouTube, and there is a playlist of these video of that stuff which I'm building on. So it's just my gaming playlist. So you always get to see it if you go know where to look. As for this thing here, I could probably put the link there if you wanted to watch on YouTube. But it's just as easy to watch it on Twitch anyway. And Twitch allows you to just chatting as a play genre, So unlisted to YouTube, which means I get to save every video. See, Twitch doesn't save the videos either, so they only stay up for 2 weeks and then they disappear. Unless of course you're what do you call it? What's Jen going for? A partner. I think you're a partner, they'll stay up for 90 days. But anyway, 1 minute streams, yes. We're going to do streams based on was it what's that new thing, the shorts, YouTube short streams. Yeah. 1 minute streams. Anyway, look, I'm rambling now. We're going to be here. We're going to be hanging out in the Discord channel. You're welcome to join us and come in and say hello. If you don't like to have be on the stream, you can be off the stream and still join in with us. We are here all the time. Well, not all the time, but you know what I mean. It's a clubhouse. You come and see who's here. Anyway, I'm out of here. I got to find the closing screen and click that button. If all goes pear-shaped, head to the that's right. We do that enough. Victor, g'day. TikTok. No, I'm not going to stream the TikTok. Mind you, I got to think about getting Chanya to put her TikTok videos into my YouTube and under shorts. Maybe she can do that. Got to obviously look at the music sort of side of things, because TikTok still lets you use commercial music for some reason. That's going to stop.
A link for Discord. If you've never used Discord or you don't understand Discord, Wazza's done videos that explain it really well. Click on the link and learn Discord. It is awesome. So there you go.
Okay, and we're going to get out of your face and let you get back to your what?
Right.
Yep. He's dropped his false teeth.
No, my phone.
Your phone. Same thing. Okay, we're out of here. Cue the song and get off. Stephen got in just in time to tell us that one. Okay, we're out of here. Closing screen. And bye for now.
I want you to lift me up so high, a place that no